Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, maybe good morning, good day, good afternoon, and a few of you good night, but wherever you are, it's leading ladies, leaving legacies all over the globe. My name is Joy Ruffin. I am Joy Ruffin, and every week I come to you with a leading lady who's leaving a legacy. And my work is as a signature style specialist, a style and leadership consultant, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And it's all connected, it's all aligned. But my joy is every week bringing you a leading lady. And this week, as every week, I have a featured guest speaker that's going to absolutely excite and ignite something in you, because what are we all doing? We're working in this box, and she has a lot of experience as such. Roz Taylor Jordan is a renowned public speaker and casting producer who, upon rising to national prominence with her high energy, which she has, she gave a constant hands-on approach to the power of winning over casting directors. Now, there's a lot more, but we're going to talk about any and every and all that we can in this 28 minutes that we have, because most of you out there, you want to be able to nail, and her verbiage, and we'll talk about that, is slay. Slay that interview, slay that podcast that you're going on, that live streaming show that you're going on. There's so much excitement that we want to share with you tonight, but I want you to just get comfortable, whatever that is to you. And my friends, sit back and relax and help me welcome our featured guest speaker tonight, Roz Taylor Jordan. Come on up. Roz, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, beautiful lady?
Oh my goodness. I'm great too. Your sound there is going in and out. I don't know what's going on with it, but we're just going to fly like we're at the top of the pinnacle, which we are. Raj, your background ignites my spirits and it excites me because you're in the film industry, entertainment industry, and no matter what area people are in, they want to be more involved and more knowing. So before we get going with what you actually do now, how did you get started in this business?
It's one of those divine appointments. I
Yeah.
happened to go on I was answering an ad for a receptionist, and it just happened to be a television show called Love Connection. And
Yes.
yes, right, with Chuck Willery. So the job had been filled 3 months prior because the paper that I was looking at was old. So I was like, is this Love Connection? You guys doing auditions? And they were like, yeah. I said, well, can I come in for one? And I ended up going in for an audition. And next thing you know, they hired me to actually be a contestant coordinator. And I didn't even know what that was. And apparently I talked so much during the interview. They said, I said, I don't know what that is. They said, you did the job already because you kind of ran that interview.
Oh my God. You know, Roz, there are no accidents on the universe, in the universe, around the universe, because the love connection, I remember, and you won't believe this, but you will. And those in the audience now and for the replay will get this as well. Many moons ago, when I lived for a short time in California, I went for an audition for the love connection. Would you believe it? And I was accepted. It was funny. Oh, we have so many stories. Roz, that's a great story. And you know what I like that you said? A divine connection. There's a lot behind that. So tell us a little bit about the business of entertainment as you see it, as you perceive it, and as you work in it now. That's what people want to know.
Yes. Well, it's evolved so much because when I started, I was a contestant coordinator and I worked for MTV and, dating game. And we would just go out in a big van to Santa Monica Beach, say, hey, I'll give you $50 if you want to come and be on this show. And it was all the way at Empire Studios in Burbank, but they would drive all the way from Santa Monica to Burbank.
Yes.
And that was the start of reality television. And I moved from there to, evolving into an unscripted format, which of Survivor, Amazing Race, America's Got Talent, competition shows. And now it's, podcasting and it's live television and it's streaming. So it's been a great journey, I would say, for real people everywhere to be able to express themselves without having to wait for someone's attention or approval. Like with your camera phone now, with the internet, with your Instagram, you can become your own star of your own life at any time you decide to just turn on the camera.
I'm chuckling, and you know why I'm chuckling? Because just last night I did a live streaming and I spoke, Roz, just to that. We are now, if we choose to be, and if we work at it, we are our own celebrities. Yet we all need Hollywood. Hollywood is still good. And I love the way you describe that to us because that's spot on. Because today, with all these different mediums that are available, you can do whatever you want to do. Tell us a little bit about the backstory to the breakthrough for many people in the industry, because most everyone, whether they can admit it or not, they have this deep appreciation, love, and admiration for the entertainment business. So what is some of the backstories to the breakthroughs that you've experienced and that you know of?
I think the most important thing anyone needs to know is that the more authenticity and the more of yourself you can bring to any situation, the bigger star you will be. And there's so much right now, I call it counterfeit culture, where we're
Yes.
looking to look like other people or emulate other people, or, we're going as far as plastic surgery and all these other things to just live someone else's life. And I know that for experience, I find people and meet them wherever they are. It's really fun to meet someone at the post office or in line at the bank or at the car dealership and say, "Hey, you're so cute. Oh my goodness, your daughter's so beautiful. Has she ever thought about doing anything on TV?" And to recognize you for who you are. And that's the only way it's going to happen is if you look yourself, be yourself, and doors open that are supposed to open for you.
Oh, Roz, you nailed it. You nailed it. And that was beyond priceless because individuality, uniqueness, originality of your essence is what people are looking for. There's nothing wrong with a little tweaking here and there and a little enhancing here and there, but let's not totally exaggerate, which is what's happening for many of us women today in every generation. And that's what's not good. Too many people are masquerading around, attempting to be someone else or taking from someone else what they think applies to them, not delving into the originality, the individuality of themselves. So that was really powerful what you just shared. And you mentioned a word here, authentic. Why? I have the answer, but I want to hear from you. Why is it so major, prime for everyone to get to their pinnacle of knowing what their best, whatever it might be, their original, their
Mhm.
individuality? That's what Hollywood is searching for. Everyone,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's the quest of all of us, right? We all
Yes.
want to know who we are, and we are so in we're kind of being imagined through the lens of culture or our family or our loved ones or our relationships. And very often we lose ourselves because we're so busy mimicking other things of other people, what they say or do. And when I think of authenticity, it's like when I have someone in my, Acro studio and I have them do a monologue. I say, well, how would you play that monologue? Because I work with a lot of kids who are from overseas and they don't speak English well. So
Ah,
we'll watch a show, right? Because TV is great, or we'll do a karaoke. And I say, well, that's how they did it, but put your own spin on that. What's your interpretation? So if you think about your own life experience, nobody has that. And that's what brings such life and such energy and breath to anything that you do in entertainment. It's your own backstory coupled with the intention. I think intention is where, if we can focus on intention, our authentic self would tell us, well, when I read that, this is where it comes from for me. And it might be comedy, and somebody else might look at it as drama because that's
yes.
their back.
Ah, Roz, that was good. That was really, really good because you mentioned all these words here that all of us today, no matter what higher source you're involved in believing in, we're headed in a whole different direction. And that means more individuality has to come through. So when you said that people mimic and they spin, And that's not it anymore. Listen, we all love Hollywood, but this is a day for self-mastery, knowing who you are at your core. That's when your individuality, your uniqueness and wholeness will come through. What is it that you have found thus far? And I know it's never ending really, but yet there are, I'm sure, a couple of things. What are some of the keys that you can share with people that will benefit them? You said a lot already about how to show up and slay, which we're going to talk a bit more about in depth, that interview, that possibility for that audition and all those other options. What are some of the keys that you look for or other people look for that you're aiming for, whatever it might be?
Yeah. So when like I have a course that I do called People Who Pop, right? And I talk about there's 5 elements that I look for or any casting director looks for when they're meeting someone. And your first impression really matters. Your energy matters. Your interpretation of what the scene or what the experience is. Are you noticing the room? Are we making eye contact? Are you bringing in your baggage from the weight room? Or are you
Yes.
coming in fresh? Are you prepared? Are you engaged with me? Are you having fun? Because for me, man, I want you to have a good time, right? I like what is acting, what is television about? It's just experiences. And if you know everybody on the other side wants to be where you are, then enjoy the moment. Like the audition is the work. Everybody
Yes.
knows this. The audition is a job because you're going to go directly from my room to set. You don't have time to go and lose 10 pounds. You don't teeth fix. You don't have time to go get a attitude adjustment, right? I'm making sure you can go right from where I met you to set. Are you professional, right? Are you going to show up?
Ron, oh my goodness, Roz, I like what you said. Everybody knows this. Maybe everybody in the real entertainment world knows that who are working, but a lot of people who are wanting to get into it, they didn't know that though. So that was absolutely beyond words to express what everyone needs to know. And you mentioned all the key words. You really did. Energy and how you slay it and be your own self and know that this is what's going to take you into where you want to go. Your energy, your vibe, and all those other things, the spin that you put on what you're doing, your uniqueness. But you know what's memorable? Not everybody knows that, Roz, and they needed to hear that from you because that interview is what's going to open that door. And when that door opens, that's what you're walking in with, right?
Yeah.
Everything that you played them with. I love
And
that.
Miss Joy, to that point, what you do is so vital. In the Build a Brand of Influence class that we talk about, I say, your presentation of yourself is going to matter. And you are so astute and so um, beautifully crafted women. You are able to give them a style journey, is what I call what you do. You take them on a style journey because you understand that there's different situations that are going to call from a different way you approach it.
Well, bless your heart and thank you. I received it. I take it in and I embrace it at my heart level because I know it was dealt and delivered in sincerity. But we were going to get to, and I wanted to really talk a wee bit about this because this is something that you gave me that I really want us to expound on. And that's building a brand of influence. Roz, there are words floating in the stratosphere now, experts, influencers, and so on and so forth. And they're not sometimes often on point. So I really want to speak to that a lot. And before I take a quick break, share with us what building, as succinctly as you can, building a brand of influence means to you. And thank you again for the compliment, because for me, it's all about working with women for us to know all about our femininity, all of it, not just the sexuality, which I love the entertainment industry, Roz, but what they send out mainly up to date is sexuality. That's important, but there's so much more of us. So when you say building a brand of influence, let's begin the conversation now. What does that mean?
Building a brand of influence is understanding that whatever it is that you're offering has to be of value. And your brand is what other people say it is. And so you want to, lead with intention. Like, what is the goal? Understand what it is that you want to give that's going to be life changing, that's going to be instrumental in supporting that person on the path and what they're after. And if you build a brand on those things, it's not just about a logo. It has nothing to do with, I get so caught up in my logos and my color schemes, and I'm like, but I need this color and I need that, and I need to make sure that the pink and it's got to be like Barbie pink, and it's got to be fun, and and you like orange means excitement, and they're like, girl, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like,
I'm
did
cracking
you
up here,
tell
Ross.
me, like, what do you have to offer me? What do you got to talk about? Is it something I want to hear? Is it gonna like? Is it something I didn't know? Or are you just regurgitating things I hear all the time?
Oh
And
my
one thing I
God.
don't want to be is a talking head. So that's why I think I don't want to assume people know stuff, but I think people are smarter than we give them credit for. So that's where
Yes,
I kind of struggle.
absolutely. I love what you left us with here. We're talking about intention, we're talking about goals, we're talking about value. We're going to come back and expound on this a wee bit more because I think a lot of people need to hear this because those three are all aligned, and we're going to talk to that. Corilla's going to put you in the green room for a brief
Okay.
moment, and we're going to come back and build more on building a brand of influence. And then we're going to talk again about alignment and being authentic, because that's what people are looking for in the business that you're in, that we're all in. I can never say welcome enough because it's always good to share time and space with you. But I want you to remember that you belong here with us. There's a Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies Facebook group that I really want you to take a snapshot or a screenshot as it scrolls across the bottom here and go and join the group, because you do belong with us. And every Monday now, I'm doing a Joyful Monday Facebook Live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want you to come and to join us, because we're going to be talking about all kinds of different current topics. And everything that we're talking about more or less today in different areas, we're taking it. We're talking about everything that has to do with leadership, femininity, style, presence, energy, everything. So please join us there. And I leave you with July the 13th. Even though it's far away, maybe it's not so far away. Time slips up on us. Join me for my masterclass. It's going to be epic because there's a lot of newness that I'm bringing into the fold, and there's a lot of good stuff that I've learned and acquired after my first one to share with you. July the 13th, just go and register and join me there. Now, I really want to get back to Roz, because Roz doesn't know this, but maybe she does. I have always loved, as most people, the entertainment industry. So when I meet somebody who's involved in working in the entertainment industry, I become a little child again, which is a good thing. The youthful energy of me just boom, pops out. Roz, building a brand of influence. You left us with the intention, the goal, the value, and what you're offering. What else can you share with us? Because this word influence, influencers, it's floating through. And a lot of people, they take on that title, but something is amiss. What gives one the title of being an influencer in the business that you're in?
Mm-hmm. Well, in my business, I'm in unscripted mostly. So I look for real people who have real experience in an area that I think others would be interested in. So you can be an influencer with 100 people. If it's, someone who's specifically in, you know, um, naturopathic medicine, or you deal with aloe vera plants, right? I'm working with someone like one of my clients, Pure for Planet, or some other people. They're really needing somebody to get their message out into a community that's receptive. Then you are an
Yes.
influencer. That's what I
Ah,
think.
I love
So
that.
you can have influence in your area. Like Miss Joy, obviously you're an influencer in branding as well, in fashion and design and style. I'm an influencer in television or unscripted, or now I collaborate with a lot of other industry experts who have their influence. Like one of my friends I'm doing a course with on voiceover, we're doing something how to create and build an animated series. I do one on how to pitch and create a reality show.
Ah,
Other people have different.
yes.
I say stay in your lane, right? Your lane
I stay in
is
your
your
lane.
lane.
Oh, that's one of my favorite expressions. Stay in your lane. And Roz, one of the things that everything, but the thing that stuck out for me, and I hope it will for many of the people who come here to view this, when you're talking about the business that you're in and the business that I'm in, somewhat different but the same. unscripted. So many people, they want to be perfect and exacting, and they want to read through every little thing, little notes here and there, but be you. Let you flow through. That's what you're saying. That's what unscripted is all about. And this camera frightens the bejesus out of people. Not you and not me, though, right?
Oh,
I love
yeah,
it.
not at
Let's
all.
talk about something that you aligned with what we're talking about. And I like this because I'm in the spiritual woo woo tribe, as one of my friends said a couple of weeks ago. What is spiritual food to you, Roz? What does that mean when you gave me this
For
bullet
me,
point?
yeah. So one of the things, like I am a follower of Jesus, right? I love the Lord, and I have sold out for Him. And everyone finds their true path. And for me, getting in the Word of God and just allowing it to renew my mind and keep me focused on things that are most important in my life, and not being a victim of the world system of things, like, covetousness or vanity, or, greed or gossip, all the things that like are salacious in our industry, is really what I, don't ascribe to. So I know that as you pursue a spiritual health in your life, to align with what God truly has for you in your life, you will soar. You don't have the distraction of the world to just diminish your power. And we have power in the word. We have power in that name. So for me, I just live that. I do my best. They call it the Christ consciousness, or be Christ like, right? That's what I want. I don't really want anything else. And I just want to see better for you than I have for me. If I can look out for my fellow man, if we all could do that, if we all could just care a little bit more about that instead of
You
what's
know,
in it
Roz,
for
let
me,
me cut you off
then I
because you're
think we're gonna.
breaking up. Let me cut you off because you're breaking up, and I received everything that you shared with us, which is very potent. And what you said is that God is your higher source, higher power, whatever your faith or belief might be. And what you said that's so beautiful is, regardless of what it is, you take that in and you utilize that to always strive to be the best that you can be so that you can soar. Another one of my favorite words, because that's what we're all here to do. You mentioned that once you accept and embrace, you look out for yourself and then you look out for others. That's whatever that higher source is for you, that's the best spiritual food you're going to find anywhere. Love that. I love, you know what? I'm going to brown nose you a wee bit in love, my dear, because when I meet young, dynamic women, especially ladies who have found whatever it is for them that keeps them aligned and in sync, I embrace them with heart and soul. And that's what I found in you. Bless you, because you're doing work that's so needed. So many people out here want to be in this box and want to deliver, and they have all kinds of issues, and you're supporting them with this. So tell us a little bit more before we go into what you're offering here, which is a great, by the way, I love the title. Let me just mention the title before we go further. You're doing a free workshop, which is
Yes.
called, this is your terminology, not mine. Like the other day, a friend of mine used the word bling bling, which for me it's jewelry, but it's the same thing.
That too.
Slay
It's that too.
your slay
Bling
your
bling.
slate. I know, I love it, I love it. But you have this free workshop coming up. But tell us a little bit more about how you align being authentic and alignment with people who come for the casting call and they want to slay that interview, that casting call. You gave us some, but share with us something else and how it's going to relate and tie into the free workshop that you're offering. And then you have to give us the dates for that.
Okay. Well, I believe that it's more about your preparation, your
Yes.
mindset. You know, if you come there ready to have fun and just leave it there, right? Like, I'm coming to do me. I don't know about all these other people here. I know that there maybe I fit, maybe I don't. Half the time I got work, they made the part for me, right? The part didn't even exist. They created a part for me. They made a script for me. They made a character for me. And you can't make that up. But if I went in as I used to when I was acting, I didn't know any better. I was like, dude, I'm not getting this part. I don't even know why I'm here. This is a waste of everybody's time. So I would just be like, I'm going to go in here and have fun because I know I'm not right. So I didn't really have I had nothing to lose. and then I booked the job. And I didn't even know why I booked the job. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And those girls were so much hotter. Or that, that guy was so much taller. She was so much more better fitted for what I saw the character as, right? But I just went in and did me because I had nothing to lose. And when you go in just free, just bringing what I'm bringing to the table, just whatever I decided to do that, brings that character to life. If you have the notes, you took note of those notes, you
Yes.
incorporate those notes and put your little spin on it. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
that little secret sauce is, that little extra special sauce that you put on,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're looking for. That's
You know
it.
what, Roz, a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, actually, I had this beautiful lady in here who spoke to what you just did in a different way. And I just want to leave this with you because I know you already know this. You said, just do me. What the issue comes into being for many of the people who are going into the industry and the business that you're in, which is a beautiful business, it is a business, is
Yes.
they don't really know who they are. They don't have that wherewithal knowing who they are. So that's why what you're offering and all the keys that you're giving them in this free, so they can begin to get more probing to know who they are and release in that interview, that audition, who they are, because it'll come through because it's already there waiting to be awakened. So I love
Yep.
that. I love that expression, do me. But what I'm discovering, Roz, and I know you know, and a lot of people don't know who do me is. They don't know me. I mean, themselves. And that's what you have to do. When did you, okay, let's segue a little bit. When did you know with certainty, there are always issues, but when did you know with certainty that you were a child of God and all was well with you?
I have many instances where God has showed up in my life. And when I really got broken and humble, right?
Yes.
There's a real specific, I'll use actors know, bills. And we are economy. And we're out, you don't know when you're going to get your next job. So you have to, I waited tables. I, wrote blogs. I've done so many different jobs, right?
You
But
did
one
it all.
particular
You did it
time,
all.
right? Go ahead.
Roz, yeah, you did it all. And when you use the word humble, and there's a lot that we all have to do to humble ourselves, and I get that. Time goes here, and I really want you to speak to this free workshop that you're having.
Okay.
Give us the name, the date, and the title, and tell us a little bit more about it. Entice those who out there who need this so they can come and spend some time and space with you. That's what my prayer is. So the stage is yours, my love.
Beautiful. So thank you, Miss Joy, for having me. You're so awesome. I was looking forward to being a part of your world. That's really all it is. And I wanted to come and be a benefit to your community. And a lot of people don't even know that they want to act, or they have an insecurity about it and they don't have the confidence. And you just want to get started. And I figured, as a casting director of over 20 plus years, maybe if you talk to me, you might believe me.
Absolutely.
If I tell you, girl, that's it, stick with that. Or you know what? Your eyes flinching a little bit. Just look at me. Don't do that. And say it again. Or
Yes.
I do a class called Reels and Resume. And I said, you have so many more skills. You should put those at the top. So with this Slay the Slate, it's just the first impression. And I just want to give people the confidence of knowing when they walk in the room that how they're presenting themselves will get them the attention in a good way than having them be unforgettable. I'd like to help you be memorable, right?
Wonderful, wonderful. What date? What date is that? I don't think we got the date. Have you
We
set a
are
date?
going to get this party started May 25th.
Woo!
It's happening May 25th. So what they need to do is go to actrealstudio.com, and you will find where it says Slay the Slate free webinar. Put in your info and we will send you the link. And we're going to do it multiple times. So I don't want to give a specific time because I'm going to offer it in the morning and in the afternoon. And I might do it a few different times depending upon how much response I get. Because I want to be able to give people individual attention and not just have it be a cattle call. And I want you to know how to stand out in a cattle call too, because I do open calls all the time. So how do you stand out in an open call? we're going to talk about
Ross,
it.
you got it. It will be great. I know that. And thank you for your patience and coming to share time in the space. Loved all the things that you shared with us, and the compliments were received right back at you. We're going to put you in the green room, and I'll be with you in just a second. Hold tight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You gave us gold. She gave us platinum, really. My friends, if you have any interest in knowing how to slay not only an audition, but a good interview and be a good interviewer then you need to connect with Roz, because she knows her business and her background is phenomenal. And she's dynamic, she's authentic, and you will love her. What do I say at the end of every broadcast? And it always runs over. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time and space. I know how active we all are. I'm sick of the word busy, because everybody's busy, but it's not really busy. It's not productive busy. So may you be well. May you take care. And as always, I send you much, much love. Always, from my heart to your heart. Embrace it. Be well and stay safe. Much, much love. Cheers.